Welcome back to part 3 of this tutorial, which is where I'm going to show you how to set up the main A3 document and to bring in the modules accordingly. So we go to Create New and select A3, and this time we want the horizontal orientation, 300 pixels per inch, and for now white will do as the background, so just press Create. And that's fine. So I now just go up to the layers menu here, where the layers are displayed, I should say. If I hold Alt down and double click where it says background, it becomes its own layer as layer 0. That enables me to Control A, selecting all, and then press Delete to make the background transparent. So Control and D again, just to get rid of those marching ants. Right, what I need to do next is just to do some alterations in the preferences, because I'll need the guides to show up better than they would do on against the cyan layer that they were on, or cyan color that they were on before. So I think if we select a medium blue instead and then just click OK, the grid will do fine as being red. So what I need to do now is get the rectangular marquee tool. Again, go to where it says normal and fixed size. Leave everything set at 1/2 inch, so it brings a 1/2 inch square that I've now centrally placed, and drag out the guides to snap to it. And then just up to the corner here. What I'm going to do is leave that at 1/2 inch for the border, as opposed to the 1/4 inch border we had for the A6 documents. Incidentally, if you hear any jet noise, I'm not very far off from Manchester Airport, about 1/2 mile away from one of their runways, and unfortunately they are taking off early today over this way, so I do apologize for any noise. So Control and D now to deselect the marching ants. Right, so now that we've brought in the guides and the grids, I'll go to a gradient fill. So this is the tool here, and the colors I'm choosing are white and the blue. I actually sampled off the blue color on one of the certificates. So going up to there, we need to select radial gradient, and if I start at the middle, put in the cross dead center on the red guides, and click and hold and drag a line out to one of the corners, and there's our gradient fill. As you can see, this is why I chose a darker color for the guides as well. They do stand out better on this sort of cyan color than they would have if we'd left them at the default color. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is bring in the logo that I had in the middle. So if I just go into File and Open, it's Camera School logo, which is that one, click OK. And this will probably need resizing. I actually just on one of the certificates just made a rectangular marquee round this sort of area on the top of the certificate, making it more or less even from below the sponsors and from the practical part in the magazine, so roughly centered anyway. So what I'm going to do is hold the Shift key down. I'm going to select the marquee, not marquee tool, the move tool first. Hold the Shift key down this time and go up to the A3 tab and bring it down. So now that I'm here, as long as the shift key is still held down, I can let go of the mouse and it'll position itself dead center on the document. Okay, Control and T, because we do need to resize it. It is too big. Holding the Alt key down and grabbing one of the handles and letting it come in towards the center. And it's not important at this stage as to what size you are setting it, because it can be altered later. As you can see, it is on its own layer. So it's called layer 1, so I think I'll rename that, double click where the layer 1 is, and call it logo. Right, so next what I'll do is bring in the central document, which was module 3. That was a horizontal one. So if I just go up to File, Open, module 3, open, and this was it. So I can get rid of the logo one. Click and hold, drag it up to the main document and just drop it down here. So what I want to do now is to get it to snap at the top guide there and to be more or less central to the document's boundaries. I'll just do it there for now, just so that we can ensure that it is centered properly. The sizing seems okay for now. So what I need to do is just go Control and A to select the whole document, and whilst I'm on the Move tool, I just need to again go to this vertical center, give it a single click, and it jumps into place. Deselect the marching ants with Control and D. Now what I'm going to do is, whilst we've got layer 1, I'll just put that as module 3. Whilst that is still selected, I'm going to make some guides snap to the edge of the document. So a quick way of getting it to select is go to the icon here in the layer, hold Control down, and as I do, you see a little square forms, and a single click and it selects itself. So bringing out a vertical guide from there to the left and to the right only, and you'll see why in a minute. Deselect and back to the Move tool, and I'll bring in module 1. Right, so this needs to be resized. What I've found actually is where it's snapping better is if you use this central logo, central handle I should say, and you find it snaps much better to the guide that's you're setting it to. So that's snapped, so we go enter or press the tick that's at the top. Select the rectangular marquee tool, and this is why we set the other guide. Start at the corner of the two guides here. Let's get it onto normal. Select the Move tool and then the alignment for center vertical, and that's aligned. So deselect the marching ants. And we're going to module 2, which was the abstract landscapes. And get rid of these as we've used them. Control T. Enter. Rectangular marquee. Down to these guides here. Move tool and center. Control D. Right, so the next one would be going here, which is module 4. We haven't yet had the certificates for those yet. We eagerly await the results at this stage. So go up to open. And what I've done is just put a black rectangle in where the certificate would be. Right, so that's module 4 laid down. What I'm going to do is just number or give these the appropriate module number by labeling them. So double click where it says layer 1, for example, and it's mod 1. That was mod 2. Mod 4. Alright, so what I would have thought is if you just want to have a look at how things are without the grids and guides, hold Control down and press H, and they haven't disappeared. Well, they've disappeared from the screen, but you just do the same again, Control and H to bring them back. But if you want to have a look at them without, I think basically they all look a little bit bland without a drop shadow. So if I start with module 1 and go up to layer, layer style, and down to drop shadow. If I set that to 90 degrees and leaving everything at default 5 pixels, 5% spread and 5 pixel distance, and then if you untick preview, if you look at where module 1 is at the top left and tick preview again, you can see a slight drop shadow which gives it that three-dimensional look. So clicking OK, and then to apply the same effect to the others, you see where it says effects underneath module 1, press the Alt key down and click on effects and bring it down to module 3 and let go, and then module 3 has the same drop shadow. Again, Alt and clicking and drag effects to logo. The logo's now got a shadow. Again, Alt key down, effects, click and hold and drag to module 2. There's the effects, and effects to module 4. So all you'd need to do is exactly the same for the remaining two modules, that's 5 and 6. It depends really on the orientation of the shots that we take. Depends on whether we use an upright A6 or a horizontal one, but that remains to be seen really. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. I've certainly enjoyed presenting it to you. I hope it hasn't been too boring for you or too long-winded, and I hope I've not been telling anyone how to suck eggs. But anyway, just to wish you all the best with the rest of Camera School, and let's hope everyone gets some more golds. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.